I believe Edmund's telling the truth.
Angelique, no.
I just told you there was no will. It was all a hoax.
Edmund would not make this up.
Then why didn't he produce the will? I mean, why go through the charade of searching for it and pretend that it was missing and accuse me of stealing it?
Dimitri, this just doesn't make any sense.
No kidding.
No, I mean, why would someone make a bizarre claim like this without anything to back it up? Edmund knows you'd never take his word for it.
But maybe he wanted to forge the document. I showed up too soon. He was left out on a wing, so the only thing he could come up with was that somebody had stolen it. I mean, the man's a damn fool.
He is not a fool, and you know it.
Oh, there are other possible scenarios?
Yes, including that he's telling the truth.
He was bluffing. I called his bluff. End of scam.
But what if I'm right, Dimitri? What if everything Edmund said is the truth? What then? What if he is your brother? Entitled to your name in this estate?
Never. You hear me? Never. Angelique, what's wrong with you? Edmund's been having trouble telling the truth ever since he was a little boy.
He told you those stories to tease you.
Lies. Why should you believe him now?
Because I know him better than you do.
He is bitter and twisted.
A troublemaker ever since the day he was born.
And why do you suppose that is? Alfred Gresham bullied and ridiculed Edmund at every turn, and now it makes sense. If Edmund was foisted on that man who didn't want him all those years, no wonder he was mistreated. And I'd be bitter and twisted, too, if I had been denied my real father and treated like dirt.
My father was far from perfect, but this much I know. He would never turn his back on a son. Now, if Edmund was his son, he would have been acknowledged and treated the same as I was.
Dimitri, the circumstances were hardly the same. If Hugo was having an affair with Flora, do you think your mother knew about it? I'm sure Hugo went to great lengths to hide it.
You leave my mother out of this.
I'm just asking you to admit it's
Edmund
possible.
is not a Marick. This is insane. It was a lie from beginning to end, and I want you to drop it now.
How can I? He's my friend.
And I am your husband.
And I love you with all my heart. But you're not thinking rationally, Dimitri. Whenever it comes to Edmund, you can only see what you want to see. Now, I know you're hurting right now, but I know he's hurting too. And I can't close my eyes to his suffering any more than I can to yours.
Angelique, what are you suggesting?
That you have been prejudiced against Edmund forever.
And you have taken his side forever.
As a child, yes. Someone had to.
Yeah, well, it is amazing how much loyalty you have for him even now.
Dimitri, we both have our reasons for feeling the way we do. But you'll just never listen to mine. I tried to talk to you this morning, but you wouldn't listen. Please, you have always been a fair man.
Dimitri, ask you to drop the subject. Don't force the issue.
Helga, it's all right. Go on, Angelique.
You and Edmund have never gotten along since you were boys, and I don't blame you, Dimitri. But that's why I don't think he's lying now.
What, because he hates me?
And your entire family and everything they stood for. Why on earth would he suddenly claim to be a Marick if it wasn't true?
Out of some warped need for some sort of revenge.
Revenge? Do you really think that?
He stole money from my father long ago. Now he thinks he didn't take enough. Now he wants Wildwind.
He'll never get it.
Be quiet, Mother. He paid you back. Dimitri, Edmund took that money because he felt he was cheated, and he had been. Your father promised Flora money for Edmund's education, and then he reneged.
Yeah, did you ever consider that my father might have had a good reason?
But what if he also promised Edmund Wildwind?
Oh, from the non-existent will.
No, the will that can't be found. The one that might have been stolen, as Edmund said.
Stolen By whom? You're not suggesting that I took it, are you? I mean, you're not taking Edmund's side against mine. Do you honestly think that I found that will and took it?
But he had.
Break Angelique in two, or we're through.
Tell her the truth. If you know what it is, if you can. And if you can't, and you won't, well, then we have to stop.
Just like that?
Yes.
Tonight?
Yes. And I'm sorry if you think that I'm selfish and I'm someone who lacks compassion. But this is how I feel. And this is what I have to do.
You never really trusted our love, did you?
Oh, it's not a question of trust. It's you. You have to have everything your own way. You say you hate ultimatums. What do you think you've been giving me since day one?
You made your own choices.
Exactly. I chose to do things your way. I agreed to lie and sneak around and take whatever time, spare time you could dole out to me. I did that because you made it clear to me that that was the only option I had.
I want an answer, Angelique. Do you really think that I would deny anyone his birthright, even Edmund Gresham?
Of course you
I
do.
am asking you a question, Angelique. Do you think I'm capable of ignoring my father's wishes? That I would destroy his last will and testament? If you can't believe me on this, what have we got?
I know you're an honorable man, Dimitri. But I still can't believe that Edmund would lie about... Wait, Dimitri, you're not giving me a chance to explain.
I have heard enough.
You're choosing Edmund over your own husband?
Be quiet, Mother.
Angelique, how could you?
I haven't chosen Edmund.
Oh, I'll never forgive him for causing this rift between you and Demitri.
If he's lying, I'll never forgive him either. But I can't believe he is.
Angelique, consider what you're doing. Your husband was practically pleading for your support. Now, if you can't give him that, you're going to lose him. You'll lose everything.
Dimitri, I had to come just as soon as I heard.
What Edmund's claiming?
Oh, it's outrageous. I mean, the man is just flat out lying.
You see through him, too?
Of course I do. I must tell you, I almost feel sorry for him.
Don't.
You know, he's pathetic, harboring all this resentment all these years.
If people believe him.
No. We know the truth, and we are going to fight Edmund, and we are going to win.
When you say it, I believe it.
Oh, darling, together, don't you know we're invincible?
I love you so much, Erica. You know what it means to have you by my side?
I always will be.
Dimitri. You hurt yourself.
No, I didn't.
Let me see.
No, it's nothing.
Dimitri, I am so sorry I upset you. I never meant to.
This is not your fault. Please, leave me alone.
I can't.
Angelique.
Not until you hear what I have to say. I do believe you, Dimitri. You have never lied to me, and you never would. If you'd seen a will, you would have acknowledged it, and you certainly would never have destroyed it.
No, I wouldn't have.
And if Edmund were your brother, you would make sure he got everything that he rightfully deserved. Please forgive me for ever doubting you. Be careful.
No, it's all right. I didn't want to make you take sides. It wouldn't have been necessary if Edmund hadn't concocted this bizarre fantasy. If my father had left a will, I would have known about it long ago. I mean, he certainly wouldn't have left it in a box of junk in the attic.
I'm sure you're right.
Angelique, nobody broke into Edmund's apartment and took that will because the will never existed. Now, you know that now, don't you? This is important, Angelique.
It could be a long, ugly fight.
That's why I need to know where you stand.
You're my husband.
Yes, and your friend Edmund is trying to drag my father's good name through the mud. He is trying to steal our home.
I love you, Dimitri. I married you.
I'm talking about loyalty, Angelique. Do I have yours or not?
Your hand, darling, it's swelling. It could be broken. I should take you to the hospital.
No.
Well, it could be broken. You should have it x-rayed.
I'll go. But please, I don't need you to come.
You're still angry at me?
Just call the doctor. Tell him to meet me there.
You sure you don't want me to come along?
Just call the doctor. And don't look so worried. Everything will be all right.
Everything will be all right.
Erica?
Oh, Dimitri. Oh, thank you for coming.
Your mother's in with the doctor. All right, we'll try to relax.
But, Dimitri, she hasn't been feeling well lately. I'm so afraid.
Yeah, Mona works long hours. Now, she probably just needs a rest.
Maybe. Do you think I'm silly?
No. She's the only mother you'll ever have. It's not silly to worry about people we love.
And I do love her, Dimitri. I know that I complain about her all the time, but I couldn't imagine my life without her.
Erica, she's gonna be just fine.
What if it's serious?
Then we'll face it together, and we will help her face it. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay?
But I've taken her for granted.
We've all been guilty of that.
I have never needed you as much as I do this minute.
I am here, and I am not going anywhere.
Oh, excuse me. My Mother is in with Dr. Martin. Could you tell me how much longer she's going to be?
No, but I'll check if you'd like.
Yes, would you? Thank you.